The door slammed shut behind Olivia with a finality that echoed through the quiet suburban street in upstate New York. Her father's voice, raw with rage, still rang in her ears. "You're no daughter of mine if you choose this path." At 22 she stood there, backpack slung over one shoulder, the weight of rejection crushing her chest like an invisible vice. Paige was waiting in the beat-up Honda at the curb, her hands gripping the steering wheel so tight her knuckles turned white. Olivia slid into the passenger seat, tears streaming down her face, but she didn't sob. "Not yet. Drive," she whispered, and Paige did, peeling away from the house that had once been home, leaving behind the man who had raised her alone after her mother's death. In that moment, Olivia's mind raced with a torrent of thoughts. How could love be so wrong? Was this the price for being true to herself? The question swirled unanswered as the car merged onto the highway, heading toward an uncertain future in the city. They had met 2 years earlier at a community college in Albany, where Olivia was studying nursing and Paige was pursuing graphic design. It started innocently. A shared table in the library, exchanged notes on a tough professor. But soon conversations lingered, laughs deepened, and one rainy afternoon, under the shelter of a campus gazebo, their hands brushed and everything changed. Olivia had never felt this pull before. This magnetic draw that made her question the straight-laced life her father had mapped out for her. He was a devout Catholic, a widower who clung to tradition like a lifeline, working long hours at the factory to provide for her. Coming out to him had been her biggest fear, and now it was her reality. As they drove, Paige glanced over, her green eyes filled with concern. "We'll figure this out, Liv. I promise." But Olivia's inner voice doubted. What if she's wrong? What if this love costs us everything? They arrived in New York City late that night, crashing at a friend's tiny apartment in Brooklyn. The next days blurred into a frenzy of job hunts and cheap rentals. Olivia landed a position as a nursing assistant at a local hospital, while Paige freelanced designs from coffee shops. Their life together was makeshift, but it was theirs. Yet the shadow of her father's rejection loomed large. Olivia replayed the argument in her head endlessly. His red face, the Bible verses he hurled like weapons, the ultimatum that forced her to choose between family and love. Why couldn't he see that Paige made her happy? That this wasn't a phase or a sin, but something real and profound? The internal conflict gnawed at her during night shifts, when exhaustion amplified her regrets. She missed her dad's gruff affection, the way he'd make pancakes on Sundays. But admitting that felt like betrayal to Paige, who had her own scars, disowned by her conservative parents in Ohio at 18. Paige's resilience inspired Olivia, but it also highlighted her own fragility. "I chose you," Olivia would think, staring at Paige asleep beside her. But at what cost? Months turned into a year, and they built a fragile stability. They moved into a one-bedroom in Queens, decorated with thrift store finds and Paige's artwork. Friends from the LGBTQ+ support group they joined became their chosen family, offering shoulders during holidays when blood ties stung the most. Yet societal whispers followed them. Stares on the subway, slurs muttered under breath. Olivia's workplace was progressive, but not immune. Co-workers' casual comments about traditional families pricked like needles. She internalized it all, questioning if her love was worth the constant battle. One evening, after a particularly grueling shift, Olivia snapped at Paige over something trivial, a spilled coffee. "Maybe my dad was right," she muttered, the words escaping before she could stop them. Paige's face crumpled, and Olivia's heart twisted. How could she doubt this? But the doubt persisted, a quiet storm in her mind. Paige, sensing the rift, suggested therapy. "We can't let the world win, Liv." They found a counselor specializing in queer couples, and sessions unearthed layers of pain. Olivia confessed her fear of abandonment, rooted in her mother's early death from cancer. "Losing Dad feels like losing her all over again," she admitted, tears flowing. Paige shared her own guilt, wondering if pushing Olivia to come out had been selfish. Their dialogues grew tense, laced with accusations and apologies. One night, after a heated argument about finances, Paige's gigs were inconsistent, straining their budget. Olivia lay awake thinking, is this love, or just survival? The pressure mounted, and cracks appeared. Society's weight pressed harder when Olivia's aunt, her father's sister, reached out via email. He's hurting, but he misses you. Give him time. Olivia deleted it, but the words lingered. Time? How much time until acceptance? Or was rejection permanent? Paige encouraged reconciliation, but Olivia resisted, fearing more pain. Their relationship teetered, balanced on decisions fraught with moral ambiguity. Was staying together defiance or delusion? Olivia pondered this during solitary walks in Central Park, the city's bustle a stark contrast to her inner turmoil. As the second year dawned, a promotion at the hospital boosted Olivia's confidence. She specialized in pediatric care, finding solace in helping children. Paige's career picked up too, landing a steady job at a design firm. They celebrated with a quiet dinner, toasting to resilience. But beneath the surface, unresolved tensions simmered. Olivia's dreams were haunted by her father's face, twisted in disappointment. What if I made the wrong choice? She whispered to herself in the dark. Paige, overhearing once, pulled her close. We chose each other. That's what matters. Yet doubt whispered back, but for how long? The turning point came unexpectedly. A letter arrived from her father, forwarded by her aunt. I saw a news special on gay rights. It made me think. Olivia's hands trembled as she read it. No apology, but a crack in the armor. She showed Paige, who urged her to respond. This could be healing. But Olivia hesitated, torn between hope and hurt. What if it was a trap? What if forgiveness came with conditions? Her mind raced with ethical dilemmas. Did she owe him a second chance? Or was cutting ties self-preservation? The decision loomed, a precipice in their story. Olivia stared at the letter for days, folding and unfolding it until the creases threatened to tear. Paige watched her with quiet patience, but inside, Paige's own insecurities bubbled. What if she goes back and leaves me? Paige thought, remembering her own family's cold silence. She had built walls after her disownment, but Olivia had cracked them open. Now this letter felt like a threat to their fragile bond. They discussed it over lukewarm takeout one evening, the air thick with unspoken fears. He didn't say he's sorry, Olivia said, her voice edged with bitterness. Paige nodded, but added, maybe this is his way of reaching out. People change slowly. Olivia's response was sharp. Or maybe it's guilt talking. After all, he threw me out like trash. The words hung heavy, and Paige felt a sting. Was she implying their love was trash? No, but the doubt seeped in. Paige's mind wandered to her past choices. Running away from home, bouncing between cities until New York. Meeting Olivia had been her anchor, but anchors could drag you down too. The next week, Olivia decided to reply. She penned a careful email, neutral and guarded. I'm glad you're thinking. But actions speak louder. Sending it felt like releasing a breath held too long. Paige supported her, but internally questioned. Am I pushing her toward reconciliation for her sake, or mine? To ease the tension, they planned a weekend getaway to the Catskills, hoping nature would mend what words couldn't. The drive was silent at first, but as mountains rose, conversation flowed. They hiked trails, hands intertwined, sharing dreams of a future wedding. Legal now, but still a distant fantasy amid family rifts. Yet back in the city, reality intruded. Olivia's father responded quickly. Can we meet? Coffee neutral ground. Her heart pounded. Tell Paige? Or go alone? She chose honesty, and Paige's reaction was mixed, supportive words but eyes betraying worry. What if he convinces you to deny us? Paige asked later, voice trembling. Olivia reassured her, but inside, she wondered the same. The meeting was set for a diner in Albany, halfway between them. Driving up, Olivia's thoughts churned. This could be closure or catastrophe. What moral ground did she stand on? Forgiveness or firm boundaries? At the diner, her father looked older, lines etched deeper around his eyes. He stood awkwardly, no hug offered. They sat, ordered coffee, and the silence stretched. I was wrong, he finally said, voice cracking. The church, the community, they drilled it into me. But losing you, it's been hell. Olivia's anger flared. You think it's been easy for me? For us. She emphasized us, watching his reaction. He winced but nodded. Tell me about her. Paige, right? It was a small olive branch, but Olivia grasped it tentatively. They talked for hours, about her life, her job, the pain of exclusion. He shared his regrets, attending a support group for parents of LGBTQ+ kids. "I want to make amends," he said. Olivia left feeling lighter, but conflicted. Was this genuine, or manipulation? Telling Paige that night, the air crackled with tension. "He asked about you," Olivia said. Paige's eyes narrowed. "And what did you say?" "The truth. That you're my everything." But Paige pressed. "Did he accept it?" Olivia hesitated. "He's trying." That sparked an argument. Paige accusing her of naivety, Olivia defending her right to family. "You're choosing him over me," Paige shouted. Olivia recoiled. "No, I'm trying to have both." But deep down, she feared the choice was inevitable. The fight ended in tears, with Paige storming to the couch. Alone in bed, Olivia thought, "Love shouldn't require sacrifices like this. Why must I pay for others' prejudices?" Days later, reconciliation with her father progressed slowly. Phone calls became regular, tentative steps toward understanding. He even sent a care package, old photos, her mother's necklace. Olivia cherished it, but Paige viewed it suspiciously. "He's buying your forgiveness." The divide grew, manifesting in small ways. Missed dinners, curt responses. Paige's work suffered. She lost a client due to distraction. "This is tearing us apart," she confessed one night. Olivia agreed, but blamed society, not them. If people like him didn't judge. But Paige interrupted. "We can't change the world overnight. We have to protect what we have." The moral quandary deepened when Olivia's father invited them both to dinner. "I want to meet her properly." Olivia was thrilled seeing progress. But Paige balked. "What if it's a setup? What if he hurts you again?" Olivia pushed. "This is our chance to show him we're real." Reluctantly, Paige agreed, but her mind raced with betrayals past. The dinner loomed like a trial, testing loyalties and ethics. Would acceptance come, or more pain? Olivia pondered. Is bridging this gap worth the risk to our love? As the date approached, tensions peaked. Paige had nightmares of rejection, waking in sweats. Olivia internalized guilt, questioning her push for reunion. Maybe I should let it go, she thought. But hope flickered. The night before, they held each other, whispering assurances. Yet, underlying it all was the price. Emotional exhaustion eroded trust. Society's shadows lengthened, forcing choices that scarred. The drive to Albany felt eternal. Paige's silence a wall between them. Olivia glanced over, seeking reassurance, but Paige stared out the window, her thoughts a whirlwind. What if this man destroys what we've built? She had faced rejection before, but this felt personal, an intrusion into their sanctuary. Olivia's mind mirrored the anxiety. If this goes wrong, will Paige blame me? The ethical tightrope they walked, balancing family redemption against relational stability, felt increasingly precarious. Arriving at her father's modest house, memories flooded Olivia. The porch swing where she'd read as a kid, the garden her mother tended. He opened the door, looking nervous but genuine, a faint smile breaking through. "Welcome," he said, eyes flicking to Paige. Introductions were awkward, handshakes stiff. Dinner was simple, roast chicken, conversation halting. He asked about Paige's job, her background. She answered politely, but inside seethed. Why does he get to interrogate me after what he did? Olivia steered topics, sharing work anecdotes to lighten the mood. Mid-meal, the inevitable surfaced. "I know I hurt you, Olivia," he said. "And you too indirectly, Paige." "I was ignorant." Paige's fork paused. Ignorant? Or hateful? The words escaped sharper than intended. He flinched. Both maybe. But I'm learning. Olivia's heart raced, conflict brewing. They delved deeper. His church's influence, societal pressures in their small town. "Everyone expected me to react that way," he admitted. Paige countered. "And you chose to." The exchange grew heated, voices rising. Olivia mediated, but felt torn. Defend her love or her blood? By dessert, tears flowed. He apologized profusely, recounting sleepless nights, lost faith in his beliefs. "I see now that love is love." Paige softened slightly, sharing her story. Empathy flickered, but trust remained fragile. Leaving, he hugged Olivia tentatively, nodding to Paige. In the car, silence reigned again. That was intense, Olivia finally said. Paige nodded. He seems sincere. But words are cheap. Back home, they dissected the evening. Olivia felt hopeful. This could be a new start. Paige was cautious. For you, maybe. But I felt like an exhibit. The divide widened, moral questions amplifying. Was forcing this meeting selfish? Did Paige's pain outweigh potential healing? Weeks passed, and contact with her father increased. He visited the city once, meeting for lunch. Alone with Olivia, he probed gently about their life. Are you happy? She nodded, but internally wrestled. Am I truly with this lingering rift? Paige opted out, citing work, but really avoiding discomfort. Her resentment built, manifesting in passive aggression, late nights at the office, short tempers. One evening, it exploded. You're prioritizing him, Paige accused. Olivia retorted. I'm trying to fix my family. The fight escalated, old wounds reopening. Paige stormed out, crashing with a friend. Alone, Olivia cried, thinking, have I betrayed her by seeking peace? Paige, at her friend's apartment, reflected on her choices. Running from pain had been her pattern, but Olivia changed that. Now this intrusion threatened it. Maybe I should let her go, she pondered, heart aching. Returning the next day, they reconciled tearfully. I don't want to lose you, Paige said. But the damage lingered, trust eroded. Society's role loomed large. Media stories of queer acceptance clashed with real-life prejudices. Olivia's promotion to head nurse added stress, long hours leaving little time for mending. Then, a betrayal unfolded. Olivia's father, in a phone call, suggested therapy for her lifestyle. Shocked, she confronted him. I thought you accepted us. He backpedaled. I do, but maybe counseling could help. It felt like regression, a moral slap. Telling Paige, rage ignited. See? I told you, Paige yelled. Olivia defended weakly, but doubt crept in. Was his change superficial? The incident forced a decision, limit contact or cut ties again. Olivia chose distance, emailing boundaries. But the hurt festered, amplifying internal conflicts. I wanted family, she thought. But at what price to my soul? Paige, sensing vulnerability, grew protective, but her own issues surfaced. A work project paired her with an ex, stirring jealousy in Olivia. Trivial, but amid tension it ballooned. Are you pulling away? Olivia asked. Paige denied, but internally admitted attraction to stability elsewhere. The moral maze deepened. Stay loyal despite pain, or seek self-preservation. Their support group advised communication, but words failed. Highs and lows cycled, drama intensifying. As months turned, a crisis hit. Olivia's father suffered a mild heart attack, hospitalized. She rushed to Albany, Paige accompanying reluctantly. At his bedside he whispered regrets. Don't make my mistakes. Hold on to love. It moved Olivia, but Paige saw manipulation. Back home, the event shifted dynamics. Olivia recommitted to Paige, limiting father visits. Yet scars remained, choices haunting. Was forgiving him right? Olivia wondered. The story's tension peaked, decisions demanding payment. The heart attack changed everything, or so it seemed. Olivia's father recovered slowly, his vulnerability humanizing him further. Phone calls resumed, laced with gratitude. You being there meant the world, he said. Olivia felt a pull, but Paige's warnings echoed. Don't get sucked back in. Internally, Olivia battled. Duty to family versus loyalty to love? The ethical weight pressed, society judging queer folks for abandoning kin. Friends advised balance, but balance felt impossible. Paige, meanwhile, faced her own crossroads. Her design firm offered a promotion, but it required relocation to Chicago. It's a big opportunity, she told Olivia. Shock rippled through. What about us? Olivia asked, voice breaking. Paige hesitated. We could do long distance. But both knew the strain. Paige's mind raced. Is this escape from the drama? Or genuine growth? She had sacrificed much for their relationship. Friends, stability. Now this job tempted with independence. Moral dilemma. Prioritize career or partnership. They debated endlessly, Arguments circling. You're running because of my dad, Olivia accused. Paige countered. No, because of the chaos he brings. Truth mixed with hurt. Olivia pondered her role. Had her reconciliation efforts pushed Paige away? The city's pulse mirrored their turmoil. Protests for LGBTQ+ rights reminding them of broader fights. Yet, personal battles eclipsed. One night, after a tearful talk, Paige decided to decline the offer. I choose us, she said. But resentment lingered, a quiet tax on their bond. Olivia, grateful, doubled efforts to shield their relationship. She set firmer boundaries with her father. No more judgments. He agreed, attending Pride events virtually to learn. Progress but slow. Society's prejudices persisted. Co-workers' microaggressions, news of anti-gay bills. Olivia internalized, her nursing role exposing her to families torn by similar issues. Why must we pay for others' ignorance? She thought during shifts. Then a twist. Paige's parents reached out after years of silence. A letter much like Olivia's father's. We've seen the error of our ways. Paige laughed bitterly at first, then cried. Olivia supported. Maybe give them a chance? Hypocrisy stung Paige. Like you did. But she considered, internal conflict mirroring Olivia's. What if it's real? She wondered. They discussed ethics, forgiveness versus protection. Paige called them, conversation cautious. Surprises emerged, therapy regrets. Yet doubts remained. The dual reconciliations amplified drama. Olivia's father improved, even planning a visit. Paige's parents invited them to Ohio. Choices loomed. Attend or decline. Olivia pushed for both, seeing symmetry. Paige resisted. It's too much. Tension built, culminating in a massive fight. You're forcing family on me. Paige shouted. Olivia retorted. Because I know the pain of loss. Doors slammed, nights apart. Alone, each reflected. Have our decisions damaged beyond repair? Reunion with Paige's parents went forward, a tense flight to Ohio. Similar to before, awkward dinners, apologies. Paige's mother cried. We were wrong. Father nodded silently. Olivia felt outsider but supported. Back home, Paige felt empowered but exhausted. Forgiveness is hard, she admitted. Olivia agreed, their shared experience bonding them anew. Yet costs mounted, emotional drain, time lost. Olivia's father's visit to New York was next. He arrived bearing gifts, meeting Paige cordially. Conversation flowed better, laughs even. He shared stories of Olivia's childhood, humanizing the past. Paige warmed slightly, seeing his effort. But a slip, he mentioned, hoping for grandkids someday. Innocent but loaded. Paige tensed. Not in the cards for us. Awkward silence. Later alone, Paige vented. He still doesn't get it. Olivia defended. He's trying. The incident reopened wounds, moral questions resurfacing. Accept imperfect change, or demand perfection. As time passed, stability returned tentatively. Careers flourished. Olivia leading a team, Paige heading projects. They attended therapy together, unpacking layers. But society intruded again. A local hate crime against a lesbian couple shook them. Could be us, Olivia whispered. Paige held her. We fight on. Internal monologues intensified. Is our love worth the perpetual battle? Decisions carried weight, betrayals averted but scars deep. The climax brewed when Olivia's father proposed a family holiday. Him, them, perhaps Paige's parents. To build bridges. Optimistic, but naive. Paige balked. Too soon. Olivia pushed, seeing unity. The disagreement escalated, forcing ultimatums. Choose them or me? Paige said. Olivia's heart broke. Why can't it be both? The standoff tested everything. Payments due for past choices. The holiday idea hung like a storm cloud, decisions fracturing their world. Olivia agonized. Push for inclusion or protect their peace. Paige's stance hardened. I'm done with experiments. Internally, Paige questioned her rigidity. Am I sabotaging happiness out of fear? Years of rejection had armored her, but armor weighed heavy. Olivia conversely craved wholeness. We fought so hard, why not try? Her mind replayed losses. Mother, father temporarily, fueling desperation. They compromised uneasily. A small gathering in New York, neutral turf. Invite sent, responses affirmative. Preparations were tense, shopping lists masking anxiety. What if it blows up? Paige whispered. Olivia reassured. Then we handle it together. But doubt not. Society's mirror reflected back. Stories of blended queer families succeeding, others failing spectacularly. Moral crossroads. Risk for reward, or safety in isolation. The day arrived. Families converging at their apartment. Olivia's father first, polite but awkward. Paige's parents next, hugs tentative. Small talk filled the air. Weather jobs avoiding landmines. Dinner progressed, wine loosening tongues. Stories shared, laughs tentative. Then the pivot. Paige's father asked about their plans. Innocent but probing. Olivia answered vaguely, building our life. Tension simmered. Her father chimed. As long as you're happy. Paige snapped. We are, despite people like you. Silence fell, accusations flying. You disowned us. Paige directed at her parents. Olivia's father defended. We've changed. Chaos ensued. Voices overlapping in drama. Olivia intervened. Enough. This is about moving forward. But damage done, tears stormed rooms. Paige's mother apologized profusely, father silent. Olivia's dad confessed ongoing struggles. The evening ended early, families departing subdued. Alone, Olivia and Paige collapsed exhausted. Was this worth it? Olivia asked. Paige sighed. I don't know. Reflections poured. Choices led here. Forgiveness attempted, but at emotional cost. Betrayals felt, trusts tested. In aftermath, reevaluations occurred. Olivia limited family contact, prioritizing Paige. You come first, she said. Paige softened, appreciating the sacrifice. They rebuilt slowly, therapy aiding. Careers provided distraction, but inner peace eluded. Society's pressures persisted. Friends' weddings highlighting their isolation. Should we marry? Olivia pondered. Paige hesitated. With families like this? Moral debates continued. Define family on our terms or conform. Years passed, the incident a turning point. Families improved marginally. Holiday cards, occasional calls. Olivia and Paige married quietly, chosen family attending. Joy mixed with melancholy. Absent parents stinging. We did it despite them, Paige thought. But costs tallied. Lost time, emotional scars. Olivia reflected. Love demands payment. Was ours too high? The woman she loved, Paige, stood at his door years later, after Olivia's sudden death in a car accident. Grief-stricken, Paige sought closure, holding Olivia's ashes. She forgave you, Paige said to the old man. He broke down, regrets flooding. I was wrong. Paige's mind raced. Deliver her final message, or withhold. She chose mercy. She loved you still. The encounter healed faintly, but underscored tragedies of prejudice. In the end, their story was one of endurance amid turmoil, choices echoing eternally. Paige moved on, but carried lessons. Society evolved slowly, but individuals paid dearly.